Something in Siege that you didn't know is if you throw an H-charge on the side of a hatch that's electrified, you don't need to EMP it, because the proximity of that explosion will actually open up the hatch. As you can see, the hatch is open even after it was electrified. Now that was just one out of 25 things you didn't know about Siege, and if you knew that one, then stick to the end of the video because you might not know the rest. The next thing you didn't know being that if you're Flores and you try to Flores drone through an Aruni gate, but you activate the Flores drone right before it hits the Aruni gate, it'll actually go through the Aruni gate and come out on the other side without being destroyed by the Aruni gate. So if you're ever playing Flores, activate your drone before it hits the gate and you should be fine. Another attacking tip is if you're playing Ashe and you notice there's a bunch of utility, but you don't want it to get caught by ADSs or Wamai discs or anything of the sort, all you have to do to get a bunch of utility on the other side of a barricaded door is by shooting an Ashe charge under the barricade. So right now, there's a bunch of barbed wire and Fenrir mines on the other side of this barricade, and all I have to do is shoot an Ashe charge just like this, and it should destroy a bunch of other things on the side, as well as the actual barricade itself. Now let's bring it back to Aruni, where I have another trick for you. If you ever get the chance to put an Aruni gate on the other side of a reinforced wall, probably not this one, but you get the idea. What you can do is, if they try to get open the wall, you can sit on the breach just like this. So now he's putting his thermite on the wall, and because my Aruni gate is deactivated, he's able to do that. But the second he tries to activate the thermite, I can just step back, and my Aruni gate reactivating destroys his thermite. Now, the Aruni gate will be deactivated for a short period of time, so then he'd be able to get it right after, but at least it gives you some time to trick it if you need to call for your turbo route to come back, or your bandit to come back, or whatever it may be. For our next tip, this is called mirror tricking, which is literally the exact same thing as Aruni tricking, but with mirror. So, whenever I put my thermite on the wall, and then I activate it, the mirror is able to put her mirror on the wall, and then just completely stop my thermite charge. Not only does it make it to where you get the thermite charge off the table, but because she has two mirrors and I have two thermites, she's able to counter me completely, and now she has info on whether I'm going to put a second one down or not because of the mirror window, so it's a pretty good strat. The next thing you didn't know about Siege is that if you have an alibi on your team at all, if you or that alibi were to run out, you don't get identified when you run out. As you can see, Alibi's outside and there's just a big question mark over her head, and if any of her teammates decided to run out as well, they would not be identified as long as they hadn't been red pinged previously. The next thing you didn't know about Siege is that whenever a defender dies, they drop a phone if you're playing Dokkaebi or if you have a Dokkaebi on your team. Now, if you're a defender and you want them to not be able to hack the phone, you're literally able to just shoot the phone, and then they can't hack it. So that's a really great counter to Dokkaebi if you have a teammate that dies right next to you. The next thing you didn't know about Siege is a crazy drone hole spot for the basement of Bank. If you're ever playing Mira on this site, make sure that you cover up this drone hole here. You do this because, as you can see, that drone hole right there is from outside, so Twitch from spawn can get a Twitch drone on this drone hole and zap the mirror that's all the way over there. As you can see, my mirror is completely broken. So if you're ever playing Mira, at least bring an observation blocker on this door or cover up that drone hole somehow, because if you don't, they will get your mirror for free every single round if they know about that drone hole. The next thing you didn't know about Siege is there is a crazy Glaz and Maverick strat that you can do on any reinforced wall near the site. So if Glaz smokes on this wall right here and Maverick puts holes on the wall just like this, I can't see the Glaz on the other side, but because there's a smoke there, he can clearly see me. I also don't know where the breach is, so it's really hard to pre-fire it, but as you can see when I activate my glasses, he can clearly see me through the smoke if he's playing Glaz. The next thing you didn't know about Siege is if you're playing Hibana and you want to make a rotate for yourself, all it actually takes is 4 Hibana pellets. If I line up the bottom left arrow on my Hibana pellet crosshair with the bottom left of the red diamond on the reinforcement, just like this, and I shoot it on the wall, and I open it with my Hibana pellets, you're easily able to crouch and walk through this breach just like this. Oh my god. The next thing you didn't know about Siege is if you get EMP'd as Pulse, let's say somebody EMP grenades me. Now, if I pull my pulse scanner out, I can pull it out, but it actually doesn't work. So as you can see, I have an enemy right in front of me, but they clearly don't get heartbeat scanned until the EMP effect is gone. And if you do it with Thatcher instead of regular EMP grenades, the effect lasts even longer. The next thing you might not have known about Siege is if you have a teammate who prones, just like the Jaeger's doing, as Fenrir, you can throw your mine at their head, and if it flips correctly, the Fenrir mine will be stuck in the floor and no one can see it. And if he activates the Fenrir mine, it clearly still works, as I'm fully blinded right now. So you can hide Fenrir mines in the middle of the open, literally anywhere, by doing this glitch right here. Now, one thing about Siege is if you're ever looking at a deployable shield, because of the glass on the deployable shield, it's actually pretty easy to see the other person on the other side. If you want to be stealthy and you don't want them to know if you're behind the deployable shield, all you have to do is knife the glass on the shield just like this. If I can actually get it, hold on, there we go. And now they can't see you. You can't really see them, but if it's in a place where you know where they are, it doesn't really matter because you have the information anyways. So now they don't know if you're on the shield or not because maybe you have head holes over here. Oh wow, I just wallbanged him, but you get the idea. The next thing you might not have known is that if you actually place a mute jammer down, you can cancel the animation so that it actually makes it a little bit faster when you place the mute jammer down. So as you can see, I canceled the animation very last second, whereas before, if I were to put a mute jammer down like this, it would take a little bit more time. As you can see, this is me canceling the animation. So I got up just a tad bit faster after the action bar had already filled up, whereas if I were to just not move at all, it's a little bit slower. The next thing that you didn't know is that Finka, if you boost with Finka in a smoke, you will actually die faster. So if smoke deploys a smoke just like that, as you can see, this is how I die. I take about 5 damage per second, or I guess 10. But if I were to Finka boost and he throws a smoke, I would actually die a lot faster due to the adrenaline, making me breathe harder and more. Next up, if you're ever playing Fuse and you're wondering like where the actual Fuse charges go, it's always going to go right to left from wherever you placed it. So as you can see, he put it down just like that, and when he activates it, it's going to go from his right to my left from the way that he activated it. As you can see, it went from all the way over here to all the way over there. The next thing that you didn't know as Zofia is if you ever plant the bomb and they're trying to defuse the bomb, you can literally just pull your stuns out as they're defusing, and you can stop them from defusing with your stuns, kind of like you would do with an Echo or with an Ela. It doesn't really matter, but you can stun people off of the diffuser to get a free round win. The next thing you might not know about Siege is Capital can make one-way smokes. So if you were to shoot a Capital dart about right here at the top of the door frame just like that, clearly he'd be able to see me if I were to walk through it, but because my head and my perspective is in the smoke, I actually can't see at all. And if you were to shoot it lower, even when I'm crouched, I wouldn't be able to see. But he can clearly still see my legs and kill me. The next Siege tip that you might not know is that it takes 20 bullets exactly to destroy a wooden barricade. So if I went to Ash Rush through this door, instead of wasting an Ash charge and making a bunch of noise and letting them know that I'm coming, all I'd have to do is shoot the barricade 19 times. And then on the 20th bullet, I should be able to just walk in. Just like that. So if you ever want to rush, you can do it with simply one bullet instead of an entire Ash charge, and it makes it a lot easier to rush and a lot safer and quieter to do so. The next thing you might not know about Siege is if you actually vault next to a zombie barricade, most times it will break. So you can use this to get really sneaky runouts just like this. If an attacker sees a zombie barricade that's not broken, they're gonna listen for the sound cue of it getting meleeed 3 times, just like this, before they ever turn around to actually shoot you. However, if you have a zombie barricade like this and it breaks immediately, they're never going to expect that or react to it. So if I were to vault right next to it and then run out, I could easily get a free run out kill. Now, just like it takes 20 bullets to destroy a barricade, it takes 5 bullets to destroy the glass on a barricaded window. So if you ever want to hear people rappelling outside and you want to break the glass, all it takes is 5 bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, all of the glass falls. Or if you have a shotgun, you can do the exact same thing. Just one pump a window like this from far away when you're ADS'd, and that'll break the glass on the window as well without destroying the barricade. Now, if you ever do break the glass on a barricade just like this, and you want to spawn peek from the barricade, this brings me into my next tip. If you ever want to destroy a single wooden pallet on a barricade, all it takes is 2 bullets. 1, 2, just like that. So if you ever want to prep a spawn peek, all you have to do is shoot it once. Once you hear them, you shoot it again, and then you kill them. It's very easy to do because all it takes is 2 bullets. The next thing that you might have not known is if you have a reinforced wall just like this one right here, you want to actually shoot the soft wall portion of it out before you reinforce it just like this. So I have people who are in closet right now. I want you to use gadgets, walk around, make a bunch of noise, shoot guns, whatever it may be. I want to try to hear you. As you can hear, that's a bunch of gunfire and explosions going around. Now, if we were to destroy the soft wall on this reinforcement just like this, and now we tried to listen to it, it is much louder whenever they do anything. As you can see, it's a lot louder, so start destroying the soft wall on things whenever you reinforce them. Another thing that you might not know about Rainbow Six Siege is if you actually want to animation cancel with Dokubi's tablet, just like you do with Mute's tablet, you can do that. As you can see, I got off of it pretty fast, even though the calls did activate. So what you do is you wait for the action bar to fill up completely, and then you quickly just take out your weapon just like that. And that animation is a lot faster than trying to Dokubi call and not pulling out your weapon and it being all slow. So you can animation cancel with Dokubi's tablet, just like you can do it with Mute's jammer. Now for the final tip, if you ever have a deployable shield, you can actually place it on the side of a doorway just like this. And that makes it so where no one can walk through the doorway. So if they wanted to try to rush, they couldn't, because now they have to vault over the deployable shield in order to do it. And a lot of people don't even know about that. And if they do, they'll get stuck in an animation and they'll die to anybody on site. So it's a great tip if you ever want to hold the site without them rushing through a doorway. But that's pretty much it for today's video. Check out this next video. My name is Alka, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.